Hi everyone, Linda here from Gumnut Lane Wearable Art. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on an earring, and I don't think it's a little bit early because you need to get things done in plenty of time before Christmas, so we're going to be working on a Christmas earring. This is a little design that I came up with. It's to represent a Christmas tree with the bow on top, some Christmas decorations and just a little bit of sparkle and dangle at the bottom. So we'll get started. What you're going to need are some tubes. These are, let me tip them out, much easier. These are 2cm tubes. I've chosen gold. It's a bit of a mixed metal type thing. You can choose whatever colour you like. We have a bow that's also 2cm wide by 2cm in depth, an ear wire, and some little 3mm crystal rondelles. So we'll get started on this. Put these away for a moment. Okay, I also have some 15Os in the, sorry, I'll bring my camera up here a little bit. 15Os in the Christmas green colour. I'm not sure what the colour's actually called. Silver lime green, Mayuki. The 11Os in the same colour. Then I have some like a darker red colour. They don't have a name, but the code is 141F for those. And then some silver Duracoat 11Os. Okay, how are we going to get started? I've got my needle threaded up with a stop bead on the end. I've just left enough thread there at the end to tie a knot. We're going to thread on our first tube. Bring my camera back down a little bit, otherwise I'll be off camera. Put in our second one. These are really simple and easy. I wouldn't necessarily call them free form in the true art of the word, or the true meaning of the word, I should say. But because I made it up as I went along, it is a type of free form. I didn't know how this was going to turn out when I started it. So, okay, just going to pass back down through that first tube we put on. Excuse me. Back through the second one. Just want to get this reasonably tight. Back up through the third one. And down through our first one again. So that's set it up nice and firm now. So now we're going to add, excuse me, just get this turned over the other way. No, I want it that way. Yes. Now we're going to add 6 of our 11Os in the green. 6, pass through the tube. I should just be looking like that now. And then another 6. And pass back up through the other side, up towards your stop bead. Okay, got that sitting nicely there like that. Oops, pulled the wrong cord, wrong thread. Here we're going to add our hanger, so we're going to pick up 6 of the silver. You can use whatever colour you like. Just like that. Pass back down through the tube again. And just the two don't come out through any of the beads. Just getting that to sit nicely like that. Oh, actually, you could have come out through the beads if you wanted to. So we're going to go through the beads. Back through the last three there, and the tube. Come out the other side. This time don't go through the beads. Okay, now we're just going to take the thread with nothing on it, no beads, back up through the tube again and outside the other tube, the other end of the tube. Pull that in tight. Same thing again. And again. Pulling that in nice and tight. Okay, and that's given us a thread bridge now to work off. So now we're going to do some brick stitch. I'm just turning it over to make it easier. Picking up one bead, one of the red ones, passing in underneath that thread bridge. See that there? Pulling that in, and then passing back up through the bead only. Don't go through the thread bridge again. Okay, just repeating that underneath that thread bridge. And back up through the bead. Pulling it in nice and tight. Okay, just continue doing that until you've got 8 beads, I think it is. Just let me have a look at this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 8 beads in all. Okay, I'll see when you've got the 8 beads on. Okay, I'm back. Now, I made a mistake with the count of my red beads here at the bottom. There's actually 10. So you need 10 of the red ones at the bottom. All right, we're coming out of this last red one here. We're just going to work our way back until it's just going to be one bead. So you're going to come up the one bead next to it. I don't know how I miscounted like that. Oh, well, I guess it's an age thing. And then we're coming down the next one. So the third bead in from the end. Okay, so it should look like that. Now we're going to add our bottom part here, all of this here. The little box that the tree sits in and the dangles on the bottom. Get rid of this thread, tail thread soon, it's driving me nuts. Okay, just turn your work over, it's easier to work this way. We're going to pick up 4 of the red ones. And you're going to come in at the thread bridge between the first 2 beads. Just there like that. You want them to sit next to each other like that, if you can see that. come back up through these 2 beads. I can only get through one at the moment, so I'll come through one and then the next one. So it should look like that. Next time you pick up 2 of the red ones, 2 red ones, same thing, go through the next thread bridge between the 2 beads. This is just a quicker way of doing the brick stitch. It's quicker if you're not on camera anyway. Get up there. Okay, so we're just going to do do that all the way along, picking up 2, going into the next thread bridge. Okay, and I will meet you back when you get to, make sure you stop 2 beads from the end. Okay, so leave 2 beads without anything in it, and I'll see you in a moment. Okay, back. So I've gone across there, you've got 2 beads on each side that don't have anything in them, and we're just going to repeat that process. So pick up 4, come through the first thread bridge next to your first 2 beads, and it's actually easier to get through these 2 if you come in from the top, or you can turn your work over and come from the back, whichever's easiest for you to get 2 in one go. Once again, it's harder on camera than it is doing it normally. Did I get through 2? No, I still didn't. Okay, so just continue like that until you come across to the other side, and I'll meet you back there. Okay, back. All right, this is what it should be looking like so far. So you've got your little box or pot or whatever you want to call it there at the bottom for your Christmas tree. And now we're going to do the dangles at the bottom. So pick up a silver, and I've staggered mine here, crystals. So one's up, one's down, all the way along. You can do whatever you like. You can make yours longer. You know, they could look quite nice dangling around. I just thought there was quite a bit of earring there already, so I didn't want to make them too long. I just wanted something that was going to catch the light a little bit for a bit of sparkle. So pick up a silver, and then the first one I've picked up, one of the green, one of the red crystals, and a small a 15-0 in the green. Now you could put a silver one on here, like whatever you like. You just change it up to suit yourself. Same with the colours, whatever you want to put on there. Okay, and then just go back up through your crystal, not the 15-0. And just go all the way up that line of beads till you come out at the top. Not through the, did I go through, oh, I can't remember now. No, don't go through the row at the top, the very first row. I have to tell you, this is my second time filming this particular earring. I've now got, I will have 3 of them. So I have to make a 4th to make double pair. Because, yeah, silly me, it's so embarrassing. I deleted the video before I uploaded it. And it asked me if I was sure I wanted to delete it. And I still said yes. So you tell me what's going on, crazy old woman. Anyway. Wasn't very happy about it. I just because I had another video I wanted to film in place of this, but I'll get there. It's just getting all the preparation and everything ready for these videos. It's not a easy task, especially like editing and all that sort of stuff. It takes quite a time. Okay, now this one I've added 3 of the 11 O's. Sorry, silver first. 3 of the 11 O's. A crystal and a 15O. And it just makes it sit just that little bit lower than the other one, so it's not bumping the other one out. You see what I mean there? So the same thing, just keep doing that now, going up and down until we get to the end. And I'll meet you back there. Just back for a sec. I wasn't sure if I mentioned, when you come up your line of beads, you're coming up the line that you already went down. So you're coming up, going down, going back up that one again, and then coming down the next one, and then coming back up that one again. So I'll just show you quickly here. So I'm coming down the next row now. You probably already know how to do this, but just in case you're new to beading and you don't know. So down that line of beads there, with the needle coming out of there. Adding on your next line of dangles. 1, 2, 3. A crystal, the 15O. Going back through the crystal only, don't go through the 15O. And then you're just going to go straight back up the same row that you came down. You can see that where my needle's coming out there. Okay, so I'll meet you back when I've done these last 2 rows. Okay, finish that last row there. So we're coming out the top row here of this line of beads that we just added. I should turn it over because that's the way it was. So the last line of beads that we added. So now we're going to come up through this red bead next to it. Down through the one next to that. And then back up through the very last one. So your thread's coming out the top, heading that way. Okay, now we're going to pick up some of our 15Os. It doesn't matter how many, rough count, say 8 or 9. What have I got there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll try 9. Okay, I'm just going to pass through the triangle. This is the easiest way I've found to do it. If you find an easier way, that'd be great. That might be a few too many. I don't want it to be too loose. So I'm going to take off 3. It's not an exact science, it's just figuring it out as you're going along, like any free form. Okay, I'm just going to turn this over, and I'm going to come back down through that first red bead underneath. If I could see in this terrible light. There we go. So just like that. And then we're going to pass up through the one next to it. And do the same thing. So I'm just going to add 6 beads all the way along. So you're just going to, when you come to your where you've got your box coming down, you're just going through that very first bead on that first row that we added going across, the very first bead coming up, going down all the way to the end, and I'll meet you back there. Okay, just back for a sec. I just wanted to, I don't think I mentioned it, when you're adding on your 15 O's here, making sure that when the red bead that you go back up, that you go through and you come through your triangle and you come back around, you come back through that same bead. Don't go on to the next row. Just for the next row, then just cross over, because your thread's going to be hidden between the beads anyway. So just cross over like that. Then add your 15 O's, go around the back and make sure you come back through the same bead. And don't worry if there's no beads on the back here, that's fine. It's all going to be tightened up. Yeah, so if it looks like that, if you can see that's very sparse there, then don't worry about that. That'll all be taken care of. All right, just remembering to go through the same bead after you've got your 15 O's, come back and come back up through the same bead. Okay, I'll see you back soon. Okay, I'm back. So we're coming out of that red bead, the last red bead there. You know, these are going to be all over the place, so just don't worry about those at the moment. Just coming out of that very last red bead, we're going to come up through a couple of the little green 15 O's, maybe 2, just depends. You just got to see where it reaches to. Pulling that in tighter. And then we're going to come through these 11 O's here. Back up through the rest of the 11 O's, through the tube. Just move that stop bead out of the way. Okay, we're going to tighten our hanger up. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. Coming down through those last 2 there. Oops, stick the needle in my thumb. And now we can tie off our tail thread here. So just pulling that bead off, tying a square knot. Okay, I'll cut that off in a minute. Just getting that sitting around nicely. Passing back down through the tube, out the bottom. And from here we're going to start decorating. So I'm just going to push some of those 15 O's around to the front, just with your thumb or finger, whatever works for you. And you can just start anywhere here. I'm going to pop out a few different colours. So I've got some purples, a different colour red, a brighter red, some dark blue, cobalt blue, and a nice bright chartreuse. Oh, goodness, that was way too many. Chartreuse green silver line bead. I'm just going to pick up one to start with. I'm going to add some of the silver in as well. And just go through whichever bead you like. It doesn't matter. Anyone there? I'm going to come through this little green one, a little 15-0 I've got here. Not going through the tube, I just want to come through. Oh no, it's an 11-0, it doesn't matter, whichever bead you've got there. If you can get through it, come on. There we go. Just want to start pulling this all in nice and tight. So I'm going to add a red one now, one of the bright reds. Just come up through one of the 15-0s. Try not to get caught on your dangles down the bottom. Alright, where did that go? There we go. Just pulling them in tight as you go along. And just moving up and down. I'm adding a purple one now. Just moving up and down that line of 15-0s. Just placing them out the way that you like the look of them. You just want them to look like little baubles on a Christmas tree spaced out here and there. You don't have to go, you can move across, just go through a couple of 15-0s. I mean, you can always double back if you feel you need to fill in a hole. So I've just gone through a 15-0 there without a bead on. And come back up one more. And just see where I want to place another one. Yeah, I might add a silver one in here now. And I'm going to go up through two of the 15-0s. Just bringing me up closer to the top. I'll add in a blue one. And just working your way across like that. So you can go all the way across, have a look and see if you feel like you need to add some more in. Don't forget, okay, don't forget the bits on the end as well. When I get to there, I'll come back and show you. All right, so just going up and down at the moment, across whatever, and we're just tightening all of this up as we're going. So make sure you pull your thread nice and tight. All right, I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm back. So I'm over to the other side here. So what I'm going to do is just come down through. Oh, you can't see, sorry. Just come down through this first green 11-0 here. And add in whatever colour you choose. So just want to make sure the edge of the Christmas tree is decorated as well. It's got its little baubles on it. Adding in whatever colour you like. Just like that. Pop a blue one in. Just seeing where my next bead is. And then just going back across, filling in any gaps, doing the same thing on the other side. When I finish that, we'll come back and we'll finish the earring off. Alright, see, See you soon. Okay, I'm back. So I finished decorating the front of the Christmas tree here. So yeah, just put on as many as you like. I'm coming out of this last green bead right here at the top. I'm going to pass back up through the tube. Hopefully I've got just enough thread left here to finish this off. So it's time to add a bow. And I forgot to tell you, I've got a couple of, these are 3mm, 4mm. I think they're 4mm. Little gold bronzy coloured crystals that I'm going to be using as well. Okay, our bow. So our bow's got a little ring at the top there. We're just going to place that there like that. Pass through the back of your triangle and the ring on the front of your bow. Gosh, finding hard for words today. 3 crystals. I've got 3 red ones. The ones that we used at the bottom of our box thing there. Okay, so now we've got, bring those down to the needle, down to the work, sorry. I don't know if you can hear that wind outside, it's terrible here today. It's really sunny, but it's very windy. 50km/h winds we've got here, which is really unusual for November. We normally get these winds in the in August. They're called our August winds. Okay, so I've come through the back of the hanger on the earring here. I'm going to pass back through and come up through one of the crystals, the first crystal. Up through that crystal. This is just for a bit of bling and to cover up that ring at the top there. Now I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I think it was a 15-0. No, it was an 11-0 in the green. You could probably do a 15-0 if you wanted to. Go through the next crystal, pick up a 11-0. Through the next crystal. So I've got it sitting there like that. Pass back through underneath your hanger at the back. And then just come back through those again to tighten them up. Oh, goodness. This light in here is just playing havoc with my eyes. Alright, you don't need to see me struggle with this. I'll come back when I've got through them. Okay, I'm back. So I got through those crystals and I'm coming out of, after I went through the crystals, I've come up through this very first silver bead here on this side. So my thread is coming out the top of that silver bead. So we're going to pick up 5 of the silver in the 11-0s. One of our gold bronzy coloured crystals. Bring that down to the work. Come in underneath the bow in here. Okay, you might just have to hold your crystal there. Add another 5 of the silver 11-0s. Bring those down to the work. And you're just going to bring them up over the top. And we're going to go back through the same bead at the back, the silver bead that we came out of to start the row. So you want to come through as many as you can. Just like that. Pass back down through the other 3 on the other side. Just going to flip this over. Get that to sit properly. Okay, then we're going to add 5 of the silver. Our last bronzy coloured crystal. That's a rondelle as well, by the way. You could use a round one, I suppose. I haven't tried a round one. I guess I can't see why it wouldn't work. Okay, got to come back up through the back of the work. Just holding that crystal in place. Get my bow straight there. Five more of the silver. Just turn this over so it's easier to see. Okay, I'm going to come through that. Hopefully I've got just enough thread. If I can get through this first, this bead here. A little bit of a work out there, but we got it. And of course I get caught up. No, I didn't. I'm all right. Okay, that's going to hold them in place. Now hopefully I've got just enough. I'm going to come down. You can go back through if you've got enough thread. I haven't got enough thread, which I know I did on the last ones. Pass back through all of that again to tighten it up. But I haven't got enough thread here, so I'm just going to show you how I finish off. So just down through the tube. And then just weave through some of your beads. I'll come up through that red one if I can get through it. I'm amazed that I don't bend more needles than I actually do. I'm pretty hard on them, but it must be a very good quality needle. I don't know whether you have them in the States. They're a Birch is the brand that I use, which is B-I-R-C-H. Anyway, just weaving your way through beads. Okay, that's enough. Alright, so I just cut my thread off and burn it. As I said, pass back through those because as you can see they're quite loose, and I'm not going to thread up another needle just to do that. Add on your ear wire, and what I did with my bow, because as you can see that's quite loose, was I just added a little bit of E6000 to the back of the bow where it touches your tube. So I did that on both sides, which has made it very firm. You can't move that. Yeah, so it's just a little dab, and then obviously leave it long enough for it to dry. Overnight's the best thing. Yeah, so I'll put this one aside and I'll show you the pair again. The finished pair that I made the first time. So that's our pair of Christmas earrings that aren't overly Christmas, I don't think, because they're just representation of a Christmas tree. Not, you know, too much of the red and green and whatnot there, but as I said, you can do any colour you like on it. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and ring the bell so you get a notification of when I post new videos, so you don't miss out on anything. All right, everybody, have a lovely week, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.